Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back with my daily video for you guys for today. This one is going to be doing a video talking about Game of Thrones Season 3. This one's going to be for my Part 2 review for Game of Thrones, which is the last 5 episodes recap on Dan's Reviews of Season 3 Game of Thrones. Just finished watching Season 3 of Game of Thrones. Really enjoyed this season a lot. Really had some fun with it. And I actually just watched the Season 4 premiere because I was so excited after the Season 3 finale that I watched the beginning of Season 4. So I've also seen Season 4, Episode 1 at this time just because I couldn't stop watching. So I have a little extra time this summer so I can actually go through Game of Thrones and finish the show. And, maybe once I'm done reviewing the show, I will do a full kind of recap of Game of Thrones overall, ranking my favorite characters and all that. But I want to get these reviews done first and watching these seasons because I am still so hyped after seeing Season 3. So, I mean, confused, well, not confused, but more so surprised, but again, not surprised because I kind of knew about some of these things that happen, which the one thing I did know was going to happen, which is that Robb Stark and Lady Stark, and of course, pretty much all the Starks, that he had there got wiped out. Of course, Robb Stark as well, with his girlfriend, who was pregnant, of course, which was a very hard scene to watch. So that was that. So I want to go into the season. I want to talk from episode 6 all the way to episode 10. So episode 6 was really good. Now, the climb of the wall with Jon Snow and the Wildlings was definitely the standout. I really enjoyed it a lot when they were climbing, and then the one guy cuts the rope or whatever, and Jon Snow and Ygritte are kind of trying to climb up again. And then, of course, they get on top after quite a bit of trouble. And they kind of, they kiss at the end, and it's a kind of happy ending type of deal. So that was that. And for episode 6, I really thought that was a great episode for Jon Snow. One of my favorite Jon Snow episodes, probably ever, actually. So, yeah, that was that. So, you had that stuff with the Wildlings in episode 6, and then, of course, I want to kind of go through Jon Snow's story real quick. Then, of course, he's with the Wildlings, they're on their way, they're talking about Winterfell and all that kind of stuff, and then, of course, they're past the wall now, and then, of course, you get the switch. So, when Jon Snow can't kill that old guy that's pretty much harmless, then, of course, I didn't like how this was done, though. How they're like, oh, he's a crow still, and they kind of turn on him. So then, it was just this sword fight, pretty much, him against the Wildlings. And then, of course, he does get away, and, you have to, see in episode 10 what happens afterwards. But then, of course, in episode 10, Ygritte, shoots him, 3 times with an arrow. And then, of course, at the end, you see him get back to the wall or whatever, and Castle Black, and Sam is there and all that kind of stuff. So the stuff with Jon Snow I thought was good. The relationship with Ygritte really good. Well, I am excited to see in season 4, how much they're going to have Ygritte in the story, and what they're going to do with her character now, which is honestly really interesting to me right now. So that's something I'm really interested to find out. So, that was stuff with Jon Snow. So, then I want to talk about the stuff with Jaime Lannister and Brienne. So, of course, she is still trying to get him to King's Landing, and she actually does. They both make it there. But the scene with the bear in episode 7, I mean, when he saves her, I mean, that was amazing. That was a really cool... The CG looked good when they had to use it for that scene, and I really did enjoy that quite a bit. So then, of course, in episode 10, I actually felt happy when he got back to King's Landing. I'm surprised because, honestly... Oh man, this sounds weird, but I'm actually generally happy. Like, seeing in the premiere of season 4, I'm actually happy that Jaime Lannister is back to King's Landing. So, and I feel like they've redeemed him a lot in the 3rd season. So, not really much in the 2nd, but more so in the 3rd, they really redeemed Jaime Lannister a lot. So, because he was a really hated character in the 1st season. And now he went from that to, now that he's back to King's Landing, now that you've seen him get captured, now that you've seen all the stuff he goes through, getting his hand chopped off and everything like that, you kind of do feel for him a little bit. It's kind of interesting how they do that. So, that was that. Then, of course, you have the stuff with Arya. Now, the stuff with Arya and the Hound. So, oh my god. I mean, I can't wait to start reviewing season 4, because, of course, in the premiere, there was that huge scene with the chickens and all that. That was awesome. But, yeah, they pretty much fight to the death for chickens. So, but anyway, staying on the subject of season 3 here. So in season 3, they're of course still there or whatever, and they're kind of talking back and forth. I like their dialogue and kind of just how they, they act around each other. It's really cool. So, Arya Stark, a really awesome character, and of course the Hound, love his character, especially in season 4 now. But in season 3 too, I really enjoyed it. So, then we also have the stuff with Daenerys. So Daenerys, of course, she has like an army at this point. I mean, she has a freaking army, she really does. She has so many people now, so many soldiers, but also like the one thing about the soldiers though, they kind of act like robots, don't they? I mean, come on, they're not really they're not really, they don't act like normal people at all. Yes, medieval times, but I mean, come on, they really don't act normal, they kind of act like Terminator, but anyway, I don't know. So yeah, they're all standing there in a neat line, and just kind of really just set up very neatly. They're all lined up perfectly, and everything's perfect for her, for Daenerys. So she has so many soldiers. Of course, the prisoners, the slaves or whatever, are now on her side, and they kind of they put her above all of them or whatever, and she's just like this at the end of season 3, which is kind of cool, and definitely a good way to end a season, I feel like, with the Daenerys stuff. So that was that stuff with Daenerys. Really enjoyed that a lot. And then, of course, that one guy kills the 2 other soldiers and then shows the heads to Daenerys, in I believe episode 9 or whatever, and he just shows her the heads, and then he's like, I'm yours type of thing. So, oh man, again, really cool stuff with her. Really, her story has really developed a lot this season, so really enjoyed that. Anyway, you get that stuff, and then I want to go into the stuff with the Lannisters. So, of course, you get the wedding with Sansa and Tyrion, which was pretty interesting with, of course, because Tyrion already has a girlfriend, and she's kind of jealous, that type of thing. You don't need me, you just tell me if you want me to go, type of thing. And, Tyrion is, making threats to Joffrey, because Joffrey is kind of an idiot, so it makes sense. And, then, of course, you get to see the scenes where, they're happy because Robb Stark is dead and all that stuff. Just they're so happy. And it's so annoying. But anyway, yeah, pretty much in this situation, you get to see your good guys lose. Pretty much. So, the wedding, the stuff with Tyrion, the wedding, that was actually really good. I didn't think I would have liked it, because I'm not a big fan of, like an episode where all they really show is like a wedding, and they kind of don't show too much. I thought episode 8 was going to be that, but that was actually really good with the wedding. So, now I want to talk about the deaths with Robb Stark, because, I mean, Robb Stark is a character, he's been around since season 1, and then, of course, Lady Stark as well, and of course Robb Stark's girlfriend, who was also pregnant, and they were going to call Eddard Stark, which is really sad, especially because just that scene, where they're stabbing her. Oh my God, oh man, and you just Robb Stark and his reaction, you just doesn't even know what to say, and then he gets killed, and then of course Lady Stark gets killed at the end there too. Can't believe that. So that was yeah, the Red Wedding, people were telling me that was an amazing episode when that happens. It was, but it was also, like, holy crap at the same time. I'm just like, oh my God, like, are you serious, That's what I felt the whole time when I was watching it. Just lost for words at this point, man. So, that was that, and, I'm pretty sure that scene would probably be one of the most craziest scenes we've ever seen in Game of Thrones. Probably the craziest, I would say. I mean, the Battle of the Blackwater was crazy, but brutal-wise, I mean, that just takes the hit right there. So, yeah, that was that stuff. So then, of course, the stuff with Theon or whatever, the one that's being tortured by Ramsay, I think that's his name. I'm not going to comment on that too much, but I'm just going to say that was some crazy stuff, and moving on. So, yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think if that's all, like, covered. The stuff with Robb Stark, stuff with the Lannisters, stuff with Daenerys, stuff with Arya, the stuff with Jaime Lannister, stuff with the Hound and all that kind of stuff. I think that's it. I hope I covered everything, and of course Jon Snow at the North of the Wall. Yeah. Oh, and Stannis. So of course Davis is now lets that guy go in the ship, and he kind of sails away or whatever. So that's kind of that's something as well. So Stannis still an interesting character. Davis is kind of character right now for me. And really cool season. I'm gonna leave it here. Absolutely amazing season of Game of Thrones, and I'm starting up Season 4 now, Game of Thrones. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.